this is Simon Da. I'm looking at just the first page of where we started with these biurim here. It says lo avar. Remember what it says? Lo avar ba ish velo yashiv adam sham. Is that where we're at? Let me see. Just make sure I'm in the wrong place. Okay, I'm in the wrong place. I wanted to go back and just read the top of it. Here it is. Page Tafresh Kaf Ches. That's a Ches? No, it's a Hey. So Ma'udnid Nafka Basachrona de Bositas. We spent a long time trying to figure out what Bosita meant. And then we have Basachrona de Bosita, and it goes around. So let's talk about what goes around. Coming back to the end, he says, Ochuta Chivara, white thread. And then on page Tafresh Kaf Tes, it says, Betlaser Misparsha. It goes out into 13. We discussed the combinations of 13. We're at the last one now, which is number Hey. Let me get down a little bit closer here. You can see it. Hey. So it's a Zohar Chai. I think we read this, but we didn't read the notes on it, so we'll do it again. So the Fidarko, he said, the midas placer musa the el al midas chuta chivora. Okay, the chuta chivora, he says, has something to do with the 13. Because now, so it's all included inside of that Ayin Sham. Now it says that it spreads into glory, say. And it says according to what, as he's going along, he said, Bechivarta hayud gimel, with that 13th one. It has all the other white in it. This was the idea over here. The tipa, that really is the kernel, I guess, of infinity, something like that. This seed, Hanikras Yakira, the seed itself is called Yakira. He says, Yakira, let me see where we're at. It originally begins there on the top of the head, which is pure white. This is what it means to be Mispar B'Yakira. This, I don't know what he said. It's talking about this tipa. I mean, the tipa, that's he spells it out. The mazel, the dikta, and the tipa continues on until it gets to the mazel, the dikta. The gam came Yakira. So it also says, it's also called Yakira. So before we thought maybe the beard itself is called Yakira. Here we're talking about the number 13th, which carries within it this tipa. So this is what it means over there, that phrase. Call makom shene'emer b'yakira the yakirusacha b'koi, that in its preciousness, I will say that in its precious glory, koi al makom shechatipa yotza. So his words are, he's a call makom shene'emer yakira the yakirusa koi al makom, at that place, at the mouth of shechatipa yotza is where the tipa comes from. So if we say this coming out of the beard, so it's quite al 10 miles, and then it's talking about the destination, which are those two stations, which is the two maslos. Netzer Chesed V'Nake, those two, that's number 8, number 13. Called Yakira the Yakiruso behind Masla Talion. So all the fact, I guess, what's ever going on with this tipa, it really depends on the connection there in the Masla. Yakira the Dikna. The ihu mazla stimo. He says it's what? A mazla is a closed mazel. Ki yakar nikros or tipas hachazrua. So he said ki yakar is the name, or the way we call the or that is contained within this tipa hazrua. So let's look over on number Kaf Hey. See if I can see it. So he says, Reba Zohar Akia, look over there, V'hideri Vazel the Shono. He says, V'hine Rabatipa Hahu, who Mamuach HaChochma, comes from the Muach of Chochma, Hanikra Yesh, it's called yesh, right? Besod shai almin. We haven't developed, it's not clear in my mind where shai is a multiple of the word of the concept of kale, because kale is 31. Maybe that, I don't know. So he says, hanikrish yesh. It's called yesh. What is called yesh? He says the tipa itself is called yesh. Now, yesh in English means, can translate, means something of substance. Besod shai almin, which is the secret, maybe contains within it these 310 almin. Vein devarna manikroim yakar. All of these things are things that are called yakar. Umahafkin v'osim osach carry. Now, this is a wild idea that just came out of left field. So he says, let's go back to the word yakar. It is a umahafkin, so it can be turned around between yesh and shai. I'm not sure exactly how that would work. To be instead of umahafkin v'osim osam carry instead. V'zehu v'chatipa hamislaveshet b'klipas carry. So this is the tipa. He means the Kedusha from Most High. It's Kerihu. Is still okay, so I'm still working on with these glasses, this little print. Kerihu Osius Yakar, so that's an idea. I just want to put that out there. I don't know exactly what to do with it. Ad Khan. So for Ayin Shon, Ray Bob Lukuta, so he says, what is that? What's going on over there? So he says, Ray Gamba Bishar Mamari Rashbi al Shabbos over there, Vizel the Shona. Mem saw shall made Tvilo, so he's talking about a mikvah. He says, what? Hamatahara as Baal Keri Gam Kane. So I don't know what the play is here. He wants to say that Yakar, which is precious, also is an evil reflection of that, is carried. So I don't know how that goes. So he said you take mem or mem saw of may tevila, hamataharim as abal carry, gam kain, v'hoz nikra yakar. So then it's called yakar. It's like a passageway into haros. He said, because like the pastor said, yakar. He says yakar, v'kol yakar. The ata inui. I don't know what that means. I guess I didn't look it up. Let's go over to. Let me get a drink here. Okay, let's go over to number 25 where we stopped, and let's look at beyond that. So he said, okay, I lost Rebbe there. We'll get back. We're back? Oh, not yet.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person...
Trouble with the phone. Okay. Okay, we got you back? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, we got you back. All right, we'll start after number Kaf Hey here in the Rav, or in the main text. He said, the Tibas Hazroa, etc. V'kachu b'chavarta al golgolta b'kiva b'kolu kola yud gimichivorta. So he says the same thing is true, and I don't really know what number Kaf Hey did for me there. He gave me some idea about what Yakar could be, one way or another, I guess. V'kachu b'chivarta al golgolta. So the whiteness on top of the head, chivar hakolu kola yud gimichivorta. So that whiteness there has all the other possibilities of white. Misham nimshach or tipas ha'azra. No. Besod or kadmo. So the principal light, the beginning light, or the revelation of light, is on the top of the head of Eric Anpin. As we have over there, ki tipus or azroa, me'ira or godel, it shines a very strong light. Nimshechas min chesed da'atik, and where it actually comes from. Let's see what he calls about that. He says the tipus or ha'azroa comes from atik. We do have a small note there. So let's come over here and see the note as best we can. And it says Rebbe B'Pri Eitz Chaim, and this is what it says: Ki tipus hazruah he meira or godol. It itself is a tremendous. I mean, it's tremendously connected, I guess, to the light of the Ein Sof. And then no, like this. Ki tipus nimshechas min chesed da'atik. Really, where it comes from, the tipa from the chesed of atik. Yesterday, I think somebody called it, what did he call it? He called it Ein, or Ein, something like that. He said, Ki tipach azroa hu me'ira or godol. Though this is Ki tipazu nimshechas min chesed da'atik, atik yamim, hagana b'kesed Eric Anpin, which is hidden there, b'sham nimshechas the mata adkan. So let's get to the source of where this light came from. So now we're on number Kaf Vav, finishing this idea out. It is so I think that word is the Chiver of the Kolokod Yud Beis Givartish Begalta Kesser the meaning the Kesser Derich, and B'Sham Nimshechas Ad Lamat, and then it begins to flow downwards. Below Ishtani, and it doesn't change. Misparish B'Yakira, and as it separates, well, I don't know what Lo Nishta Ishtani means, that's for sure. Misparas b'Yakira, so it spreads out into whatever Yakira is, Yakira b'Yakira, maybe in its tipa, it's that the tipa spreads out, or what? Or it means glory simply. Kimisham or tipas azroa l'mazel notes of Venake, so then it's going to go from this place, it's going to go down into those two mazlos. Misham ad lamata Rabbi Yisod Nukva, and ultimately it will wind up in the Yisod of the Nukva. So he said, in this, what is this? This is the Or Kadmor. So in other words, to my mind, it's like a kernel of the Ein Sof that I guess has been surrounded by going through many different channels. Or Kadmor bebechinas atzmos reish delo isyada, which is really comes from because the chesed of Atik, let's see, Atik is related to the Resh of the Lo Isyada. So he says, who orka de mom, but bechinas atzmos Resh of the Lo Isyada, shelo hoyu the begam below beto, something just a pure perfection there. Velo pamba bebeto v'da rebisa v'da rebetigan adkan einsha. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. So now we came through that section where we talk about this thread, the white thread, the concept of 13, and now we're over on Siman Dalet. Now I thought maybe it would be a good idea, if I can find it, to go back here just for a second to read what Siman Dalet says. Let me see. Lo aver bar ish velo yashev. Where is that? I thought I had it marked. Okay, that I see that. So I guess it is here. Okay, I can't find where the original site is, so just lo Adam Shaman, nobody could dwell there. What is he talking about? So he says, we're going to talk about these topics. Eretz lo Avar, Besod Malchus. He says, then he said, what the difference between when we use the word ish or we use the word adam, what's the difference between the two? So this passing by goes with the concept ich. So another, I guess it means moving. And yeshiva ba'adam. Yeshiva refers to Adam, he says. This we're going to get some ideas and words. Adam the Baruch. So Adam is actually also on the outside. Outside of what? I think we saw over there outside of Eric Onpen. So now let's come over and let's see what we could do with Eretz lo Arva Besod Malchus. What is that? He never besifred its niyut mekan, mivor kan rather, zachar b'pasuk, she'arvacha v'vayim, ha-molech asana b'midbar, be'eretz lo aver ba, ish v'lo yashev she'adam sham. So it's a pasuk. So he said, besod dikna de Eric Onpen. What are we really talking about here? We're talking about, this is the secret of the beard of Eric Onpen. B'yesh the ayin heichen nirmaz inyan zera b'lashon pasuk. So we said before that the beard of Eric Onpen is really not mentioned in the Torah. So let's see what else he says. So he said v'hidach b'perish maris ruk. So let's go to that. Bir kan lefidarko kizach the el the ayrech bekan b'yud gimel tikundi dikna shal reish lo isyada. So you're really in a very, very pure place. The nearest B'midas Eretz, that the reference to this, what the dikna of Reish Lo Isyada, is a reference to that, is the Midas Eretz. Shehi Bechinas Malchus Kanoida, so that we always know that. So he says what? He says B'midas Eretz refers to Malchus, the Zechel Shono. V'im Tomer Heichon Nirmaz Reish Zu. So where do we know a reference that we're talking about the Reish Lo Isyada? The lo is the ratio zu the lo isyada, but pasuk lo overba ish, where we see that's the phrase. B'yesh loma dechsiv, and there are those who would say there dechsiv eretz lo over hainu malchus shal adam kadmon. So we never reach, what does he mean? No man, whatever these words mean, can actually pass into the realm of Adam Kadmon. And what is the realm of Adam Kadmon? The Malchus of Adam Kadmon. That's at the very bottom, let's say the most physical part of Adam Kadmon, is Resha de Lo Isyada. That what we see, that is the place of the Resha de Lo Isyada, Ad Kan V'Ritzon Aloma. Shal Pasuk Ayrecha Bedikta Shal Eretz Elyona, the most up Elyona. Shechab Malchus of Adam Kadmon behind the Resha de Lo Isyada. So it's establishing that fact. He says that the Reish Lo Isyada, its Malchus, is made out of the Malchus of Ak. So he said the Perish Rishon of Emek HaMelech. So let's see what there was a number, a little base over here. I missed the Aleph. The Aleph must be up above. I didn't see it. But let's, as long as we have like 1 minute or so, let's look at the number Aleph. The Inyan Zera, the Malchus, the Adam Kadmon, which is also the Reish of the Lo Isyada, the Hindach of Rosh Atik Yomim. That's also another way of saying it. This is also explained of the type of Zelda Shona Gam Malchus Atzbacha, the Adam Kadmon, Shuhu Reish is Hatzilus, which is the very beginning of Hatzilus. This is the Gam Malchus Atzmo, the Adam Kadmon, which is the beginning of the Atzilus of what? I guess of Atzilus, Vihi Atik Yomim, and that's Atik Yomim, so giving us that idea. Now we have number Bet also. We have 1 minute to read it. V'agav Rei, he said, Yaakov, he says, Sherebir V'zel Deshona, he said, B'tok Devar, B'al HaSefer, HaZereb, so he says, Kina L'sod HaZakan Eretz. So he called the secret of the beard Eretz. Even if we're talking about the Derek Anpin, Shamridim Eretz Lo Over Ba Ish. So in that place of the Eretz, so here he's saying Eretz is the Malchus of Ak. He said it before. Edamin Rachok, I guess it's Rachok, but I still have trouble with my glasses. It's just trying to get, it's just not the way it used to be. Pasuk, Kina Rabbesecha B'Shem, Arugos Abosem. So the Pasuk calls it this Malchus that we're talking about, plots of sweet perfumes. The Hainu Eretz Hamagdelis Samachim, that everything grows from there. V'chein kedin, so we have v'chein hu bedin. He said b'dikna. He b'chinas bina. Really, bina bina. Shehu eretz hachaim, which is also the eretz hachaim. Shehu ma'at mitzamsemis motze desha, and it's able to contract itself and bring forth life. I guess the hainu. His pashtos on spheros, that is the spheros comes out of there. Shehu gan amagdelis anatius. This is the garden from which everything else grows. And we're talking about what the mouths of Ak, the Reish Lo Isyada, lahamsiyam laholidim lahodsiyam achutza ein sham. So, okay, that's it for right now.